looks like Kick has yet another problem to solve. And yeah, the botting got out of control.
Massive botting problem. Even the CEO himself admits that most of the Kick partner program is botting,
God damn.
which is a crazy statement to make as the CEO.
If we banned every single person who view botted from the KPP program, the reality is there wouldn't be many people left.
So, I mean, when the CEO is shamelessly admitting it, it's bad. But this has been a topic of conversation for years now. Like, people have been calling Trainwrecks the boy who cried view botter since at least 2023.
Trainwrecks was right. He was telling us and we didn't listen.
Sorry, guys. If you hear some hammering. Yeah. Can't get him to stop. And they're just doing their work, right?
All the streamers are view botting and nobody listened to him. Everyone was like, he's schizo, he's crazy. He was right.
But now, it finally seems like he's being vindicated on both sides of the coin, with the issue reaching further than just live viewers. It's now infecting Clippers as well.
Don't Clippers just bot their clips to get fake view numbers to make more money?
But we got botting problems everywhere, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, botting problems are not mutually exclusive to Kick. It's not mutually exclusive to live streaming. Like, botting is everywhere. That's the reality.
But view botting has been a hot button issue on streaming sites for years
That's
now,
true.
even if viewers haven't always been buying it, nor...
That's true. I mean, like Aiden Ross and an NBA player got investigated for a botting scheme. So like it's all, for real everywhere.
Her streamers really fessing up
Getting
to
out
it.
of hand,
All the stuff
man.
that I'm learning, that I'm seeing, it's beginning to make sense low key, right? If I'm sitting at 30 to 35 and all my social medias and everything like matches up with that, my chatters, the activations, merch sales, this and that, right? The numbers match up to that, but everyone else, it doesn't, then I'm beginning to understand the petty drama, because they're telling themselves, I'm not a 35K viewer streamer. I'm probably doing this weird shit. I'm really a 20K. This is a 35. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. And that's how the petty shit starts. The devs that I work with, right? They've calculated some of these view bots that we encounter have to cost between 10 to 20,000 a week. Like, we're talking like fully automated. IPs are completely spread, right?
When it comes to the topic of view botting, it's starting to become a problem everywhere, and it feels kind of safe to say that no one is actually planning on doing anything about it. If anything, streamers seem to not really care if they get caught these days.
Bro, I'll just say this, guys. I don't give a bro. If you think view bot, listen, you think some people, guys, everybody's inflated. Like I openly admit it. I don't give every single person. I would say 90% of streamers inflate, guys. Okay, we're not whatever, dude.
Like, that's crazy. But what happens when the people who start paying creators based off of their viewership start to become wise enough to acknowledge the scheme? And how can anyone be sure that it's not the streamer view botting themselves or someone else paying to make them look like they're view botting? I mean, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, was it the streamer's fault? Like, honestly, it's kind of hard to definitively know who to place the blame on here. Because today, essentially, I just want to look into the accusations, old and new, and figure out if
But you see, guys, Aiden Ross, I mentioned him.
live streaming really does have a view botting problem. Because it kind of seems like it does. Because as I stated earlier, even the Kick CEO seems to think so.
We know that in live streaming, there is a lot of view botting. That's the reality. If we banned every single person who view botted from the KPP program, the reality is there wouldn't be many people left. That's the reality. It's the harsh reality. It's not just a problem isolated to Kick. It's a problem with all social media.
Now, the clip that probably made the most headlines and prompted me to look into this, of course, is the clip of the CEO from Kick, Eddie, admitting that most of the Kick partner program view bots live on their Kick channel. And this happened during an episode of Kick Talk, which is a podcast hosted by Ed Craven, or Eddie, and the head of Kick Studios, who's Andrew Santamaria. And in these podcasts, they often feature controversial streamers like Ice Poseidon, Action Man, and Fuzi, and the episodes usually just consist of them bringing up the same talking points about the future of streaming. And I wonder if they were anticipating the future was being filled with botted chatters and falsely inflated viewer counts. Well, I guess for all but...
That would be so sad. Imagine like everything's being fake. I mean, like it already is. It already is. Everything's already an illusion. People are not who they seem to be. That's why I'm trying to stay real to, like, that's why I try not to cut my videos. If there's like a big mistake, like down the road, I'm not gonna cut the whole video. But like small little things that authentic. We're losing sight of that. I saw a video about the gaming industry. I mean, like, gaming is not that fun anymore like it used to be, because it lost its soul. Everything, people are trying to do the part, trying to look like they're trying to look, or they're trying to be something they're not. They're trying to portray an image of them which they're clearly not, on people they do not care. Half of these streamers, and I have like half of these who use penthouses, and they say, yeah, I own them and whatever. It's a lie too. You think there's like unlimited resources on mansions and luxury homes in Miami? It's pretty limited, but everybody has one.
Lone Angel, who they praised on the same episode as one of the few people out there who doesn't touch viewbots at all. And apparently, that.
Let's see who that is, huh?
Is that yours?
No, I think that's mine.
That's Sneeko.
We were talking about bots before. I think just a big shout out to Sneeko. I think Sneeko is one of the few people out there doesn't touch any bots at all. I said this the other day, right, Sneeko? I was like, I won't ever say someone is using viewbots, but I will say when someone isn't using viewbots, like Sneeko is not. He's legit. Like you haven't fallen to the temptation of.
Not bad, Sneeko. Not bad. I never had something negative to say about him. Yeah, he done some dumb shorts, like some dumb videos, some dumb interactions, but let's be honest, man, who hasn't? Especially
Increasing
these
your
days.
metrics, and I respect that, man. I really do.
And now I'm not saying that Sneeko's the only big creator who doesn't viewbot, but he might be one of the only big creators who aren't viewbotting on Kick. Because I promise you, there are tons of other creators who are not viewbotting whatsoever. They're just not streaming on Kick. For example, I would bet like 10 grand that Moist Critical does not viewbot. But obviously, creators like him don't stream on Kick, so he's kind of irrelevant to this conversation that we're currently talking about. But prior to bringing up Sneeko on the podcast, they were discussing how the current landscape is and how they combat viewbotters. And this is where Eddie makes this bold statement of, if we banned every single person from botting in the KPP program, the reality is there wouldn't be many people left, which is.
That's why being authentic will always prevail, because a lot of the fakes, they'll die down, and you stay alive because you stay true to the cause, and you didn't set your character on a trend which dies eventually.
Crazy. And which also goes to show that Kick seems to be this like den of thieves for some reason. There is no honor amongst Kick streamers for some reason. Unfortunately for Kick, it just has a reputation of absolute degeneracy. So degenerates just congregate on kick.com. And they also briefly touch on the Kick clipping program, which pays clippers based on views, and how people are apparently viewbotting those as well.
So here's another question, like to follow up on the clipping stuff. Don't clippers just bot their clips to get fake view numbers?
But yeah, I think there's definitely botting problems on. Like I said before, right? We were talking about this before. But botting is on
Everywhere.
every platform.
I guess there's an arbitrage there. So they're getting paid more per view than what they have to pay a viewbotter to viewbot them. So again, a whole den of thieves. So I guess it's just fake viewers to wring out every last dollar from the site all the way down. And again, not a great look. It's sort of confirmation of everything people have ever been alleging for years, coming straight from the horse's mouth. And even though, I mean, Trainwrecks, heavily was involved in the promotion and launch of Kick as well. I mean, his Wikipedia even lists him as a part owner of Kick. So one would think that he would have, enough insider information to be able to accurately call this out.
One of the biggest things I was confused about when I was doing my streams, I'm wondering like, why the are like streamers that are bigger than me or my size like so worried about me, right? And we're not talking about the, justified worrying about, this and that, what content he's doing. We're talking about just like the petty bull. And all the stuff that I'm learning, that I'm seeing, it's beginning to make sense low key.
Well, now after numerous botting scandals, multiple large streamers making their own speculations, and Eddie coming right out and saying people are starting to realize that they have been a little bit too quick to dismiss these claims.
Trainwrecks was right. He was telling us and we didn't listen. He's been saying this for years. All the streamers are viewbotting and nobody listened to him. Everyone was like, he's schizo, he's crazy. He was right. Everyone is viewbotting. I mean, like, I knew it was an issue. I knew some people bought it, right? I knew there were botting services. And I thought maybe like 20% of streamers bought, maybe 10%, but no.
But there is...
She's probably doing it too. Man, I don't like her. She exaggerates everything she touches.
An important note to make when it comes to view botting, because it can be the creator
Exhausting.
themselves paying to boost their own numbers and push them, higher up in the directory, because at least before on both Kick and Twitch, the way to be discovered is to have a high view count, because then you kind of get front paged. Now they're starting to do some sort of recommendation system, but historically, the more views you have, the easier it is to get recognized or to be discovered by a new viewer. People also have this like default bias where if they see that this streamer has like 20,000 viewers, they're like, oh, 20,000 people are enjoying this. Let me check out this. So that's unfortunately how the industry is. So while there's a lot of things that incentivize people to view bot, there's always that
A crowd always attracts more people. Don't ever forget that. And that's true. Like I said, I will never do that. How many times I streamed and asked me to buy views? I stopped streaming not because of that, not because I wasn't getting views, just because it was way too much for me. So, but it will start again. I think just my laptop isn't just set up for everything together, streaming, videoing, and only got an M1 processor, so but it was crazy the amounts of requests that I got to stream, to like to buy views. Stay small enough long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough.
possibility that someone else is view botting them in hopes of getting them either flagged or banned, or at the very least disliked by their own community and the general public. Because if your fans think that you're view botting and you can't really prove that you're not, it just kind of comes down to trust, which, is hard to build in the generation of generative AI and performative morality.
So you are aware of everybody who is and isn't botting. I did want to talk about, maybe we could speak on this more in the future.
No, obviously, yeah, Kick like has the ability, like that's how KPP works, right? KPP pays out on legitimate viewership, right? Obviously the platform kind of knows, but again, we don't know who's botting Q, right? Like at the end of the day, like, somebody else could be botting someone else. Like there is a lot of that going on, right? But it's a tough one. But yeah, we definitely know when people aren't botting, that's for sure.
But genuinely though, a telltale sign of someone view botting is their chat not lining up with the sheer volume of people that are supposed to be watching. See, most bots watch, but if you have thousands of viewers and the chat is kind of standing still, it sort of becomes obvious that they aren't real people. But that's when you have more advanced botting services that also spam out the chat, so you have chatting bots as well. So again, people who bot unfortunately find workarounds, and that's why it's so hard to catch. It's a big cat and mouse problem. But in July of 2025, Twitch published a statement announcing that it was rolling out changes.
Yeah. I think that should happen. It absolutely should.
That meaningfully improve their ability to identify view bots, inauthentic viewership, and other potentially fake engagement. Dan Clancy, the Twitch CEO, also made his own statement clarifying the company was taking its time in enforcing these updates to avoid inadvertently filtering out real users. And of course, this had people watching the viewer data like hawks in the following weeks and months, hoping to see changes that confirm their suspicions. And without fail, stream stats site like Twitch Tracker showed that viewership across the entire platform started seeing a downtrend, with hundreds of thousands of live viewers going missing since August 21st. And similarly, a Twitch account called Viewer Metrics started posting screenshots from their bot detector tool, causing some of the biggest streamers on the platforms like XQC and SodaPoppin to start reacting to them.
6,000 chat-connected bots with 5,000 view components entered a steady rate in the first hour. 640 chat-connected bots detected. They were all shut down 10 minutes before the stream ended. I mean, like, Seer even. Playboy Max, who the that is. DDG, whoever the Emaru. Neon. It's actually not a big deal, but the other ones you can see, like, 6,000.
Wait, is that like the bot police? Hold on. Did they have like a better way to detect view bots?
Chat connected bots with 5,000 view components and
6,000 chat. What is he looking at?
And the names and stats that kept coming out were shocking to say the least. Not because of these shining examples, but because a lot of them are top streamers, with some of the worst offenders allegedly being Neon, Plaqueboy Max, Emaru, and DDG. And people even pointed out the irony in the Mizkif getting angry at Emaru's viewer count being higher during that whole saga, because if they were allegedly both botting, why are you crying? Just buy more bots than her. Like, if you're allegedly playing dirty, why not just up those numbers? That's a joke, by the way. I dislike people who bot because it just ruins it for everyone trying to play fair. But this viewer metrics Twitter was posting as recently as
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh my god. Ew. Just when I think couldn't get any worse, it got.
So you have nearly half a year of exposing streamers for botting, and it appears like there's no signs of streamers slowing down on the view botting. Like, come on, is this not embarrassing, guys? But
Yes,
again, as I said, you can't really prove anyone is botting unless they admit to it or accidentally tab out and you see some like view botting tool or website, like many streamers have unfortunately done. And then you have that other issue of anytime someone figures out how to detect bots, they find some sort of workaround, and the bots continue to get smarter, and it becomes harder and harder to discern whose community is real and whose is fake.
And my devs, or not my devs, but the devs that I work with, right? They've calculated some of these view bots that we encounter have to cost between 10 to 20,000 a week. Like, we're talking like fully automated IPs are completely spread, right? Like the most basic view bot, every IP is going to show up from one country if you catch my drift, right? I'm sure you can guess which country, right? But there are some complex view bots now that ping IPs, like one IP per goddamn city around the world. None of them overlap. Do you understand? There's one way we can catch them now, but I'm not going to say that way because I'm sure the view botting technology is going to learn and adapt from that. But that's the problem. You understand? People, like, I'm telling you, clout is a hell of a drug.
Like, for instance, someone who is getting a lot of view botting accusations thrown his way is currently the Burnt Peanut. And he's a streamer who's recently just blown up due to his short form content repeatedly going viral.
Rock, paper, scissors.
So are you playing off your Xbox Connect mic?
Yes.
Xbox, turn off! Worth it.
And I mean, it's easy to see why. The combination of the ridiculous filter with his almost obnoxious persona is quite funny. And him being a mostly expressionless peanut makes him yelling and acting like a general troll in games more, I guess, endearing rather than infuriating. And look, he isn't really doing anything actually that bad. It's just, you know, genuinely normal in-game griefing. But with the wrong persona, his shtick could easily rub people the wrong way. And with the view botting whispers starting to circle him, it seems like it sort of is now.
By the way, for those of you guys who don't know, it was just a tweet on Twitter. It blew up today. Let me tell you, you know what? Dude, I was sleeping when that Twitter thing blew up. We didn't even do nothing this time. He went viral on Twitter in our sleep. That's called motion.
Because as much as he denies them, now that people have started to find a reason to dislike him, they're starting to pick apart everything he does. Because unfortunately,
he was like, he was nominated for Creator of the Year, right? And the thing is, like, he blew out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. And that's so crazy. There's no consistency. There's no consistency. I mean, like, there is in his thing, but not in his viewers, you right? Bro, stay real, and that's how you, like, that's short way of thinking. Short way of thinking. Oh my god. Yeah, of course, people be picking apart everything he does.
that's just kind of how the internet works.
You guys mind if I be a little unhumble for a second? I don't like being unhumble. I just like hanging out with you boys and gaming, but I kind of got to. Just for like a second, guys. I call view botting the loser's topic. That's what I call it. You have too many viewers, not enough likes, you're view botting. You have too many viewers, you have too many likes, you're like botting. You have too many viewers, you don't have enough subscribers, you're view botting. You have too many viewers, too many subscribers, you're subscribe botting. You have too many viewers on Twitch, you don't have as much viewers on Kick, you're view botting on Twitch. If you have too many viewers on YouTube, but you don't have as many viewers on Twitch, you're view botting on YouTube. You can spin it any way you can. At the base of the argument, it's cope. There's no way to prove anyone is view botting or if they're not.
But I mean, looking at his stats, they seem to be organic, especially when you look at him compared to some of his peers. Not to mention, people also forget the power of short form content. Like, you can take one viral TikTok or YouTube shorts, and that can change your entire life. And that's not even exaggerating. Look at the Haktua girl. She kind of fumbled that, but see, if you capitalize on it, it can go pretty well for you. Just don't scam your fans. So as far as the guilty streamers go, the Burnt Peanut seems very low on.
That's true, man. It's absolutely true. The short form is a really sick, like hella good way to boost your content. And I've been trying to figure that out myself. If anybody has any tips, advice, I'm all up for it.
A list in regards to view botting. But naturally, the list of the accused continues to grow, but there's only a few people that have actually been caught red-handed, or live. People like Convy and Heel Mike, and the former showing a little receipt of 1,000 Twitch viewers and then being forced to admit it live, and then the latter going from 16,000 to 2,000 live viewers. See, that's just so blatant and crazy. But then you have this clip of XQC watching Stable Ronaldo lose thousands of viewers live and call him out for his chatter rate being suspiciously low.
Wait, what the fuck? Is this a glitch? Why does it say XQC has more viewers than me? What is he, cheating the system? What is this? Did bro get insecure? He starts taking away my viewers. Oh, this is weird.
I have 90% chatter rate.
Oh, he hired someone at Twitch to take away my...
Your chatter rate is like 30%. And you fluctuate 6K every time an ad runs.
I just ran an ad. That's how I make my...
Oh, you can hear me? I forgot. My bad. Sorry. I know I'm typing it. Yo, run.
Yo, Q, instead of calling out a streamer like me, why don't you call out the real streamers? Why don't you say names, bro?
But again, that's not really concrete proof aside from Convy, but pretty interesting that XQC makes it seem like he knows. And I think they do, because you have Train, XQC, and now Aiden Ross, all of them saying the same thing. Everyone viewbots. But when Ice Poseidon accused Aiden of viewbotting, what did he do? Well, apparently agreed with him.
It's Ice, bro. I'll just say this, guys. I don't give a bro. There's nothing to say, bro. If he thinks he's viewbot, listen, you think some people, guys, everybody's inflated. Like I openly admit it. I don't give. I would say 90% of streamers inflate, guys.
That's so sad, and that's like these 90%. They will not maintain their. People will move on. Trying to invest in the long run. Trying to play it smart. Trying to invest in time. Do that.
This is because 90% of streamers are doing it, then you can't be mad at him for also doing it. Like, honestly, that's just a horrible excuse by any measure, and disheartening when you see nothing happening to these top streamers who continuously get called out and even caught for doing these things, but nothing really happens to them. So what happens when a good chunk of the viewership on streaming sites isn't even real? Well, I mean, it could easily be considered fraud because sponsors often base how much they're willing to pay based on viewership. But when these advertisers are suddenly seeing more sales, at least in percentage wise, from the smaller creators than the top guys, I mean, even them can tell something's wrong. And I guess...
Oof. Oh, damn, son. Oh, damn, son. If you're getting depicted that hard.
Why would Twitch and Kick go out of their way to deter big sponsorships when they could just simply turn a blind eye to the problem? I don't know. I feel like it's only a matter of time before the system implodes on itself, because companies will suddenly stop sponsoring streamers as much. And the people that it'll really affect are the people who are playing fair, which most regularly are the smaller streamers. So massive kudos to all the small streamers who are actually playing fair and are growing organically. Because I mean, at this point, it feels like it's like every day a new streamer comes out and either accuses someone of viewbotting or just outright admits to it themselves, because it seems like it doesn't even matter anymore, which is crazy and just sad, honestly. It's so disheartening. But hey, it'll definitely be interesting to see what the eventual fallout of all this is. I find it hard to believe that sponsors are watching these clips of Eddie and Aiden shamelessly stating that most of their best and brightest are actually lying about their reach. But what can these streaming sites do to combat this without also banning people who aren't guilty? Maybe start with the people who are outright admitting to viewbotting.
It's not gonna change. All it's gonna do is make me go, oh, Rage like Kai Sanat. He got 80,000 people in this shit. Gonna go, yo, he view botting. So what? It's legal.
What an absolute moron. Shut the hell up.
Remember, whatever's legal, you should do. What these think, bro.
But who knows? Maybe Kick is punishing Aiden, because that's what he claims to think.
Yo, Kick is playing with me, bro. Chat, we are stuck at 8. We're stuck, bro. I think we're cooked, dude. It's time. Let's just leave. Let's go. Let's go back to purple.
So apparently he's claiming that Kick is capping his viewership. So essentially saying they're reverse viewbotting him and he's switching back over to Twitch. But I mean, it's not like everyone over there is also inflated as well. Who knows? But this is also coming after Aiden says that Kick is now strapped for cash and is really in some hot water with all the lawsuits going on. One of the most notable ones being the situation going on in France, where a Kick streamer passed away while doing this 24/7 stream. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what comes of this. Either way, Kick says that they pay people based on real viewership, and if the rumors that they're strapped for cash are true, they definitely need to stop paying for dishonest streamers who are botting their numbers. So overall, it'll be interesting to see what happens with all this.
Oh my god.